What's up, everybody? So just wanted to do another shop update. I've changed a couple small things since my last one, nothing too major, but figure I'll go over the whole thing. So this is basically my storage area back here. So my cutoffs that I hate throwing out, even though I just threw out some more. My lumber rack, it's mostly like some plywood here, that's some pine up top that used to be beams in this house before we redid it. So I just use them to make flags. And then I have my longer dimensional lumber down there, and then there's some hardwood. You can't really tell. There's some poplar in there, and then there's some mahogany, oak up there, and then there's some more. I got some true dimensioned 4x6 oak that's probably been drying for 30 years that we used on a project. We had some left over. I'm going to start trying to figure out better spaces, spot to put my plywood. I was putting everything up in the rack, obviously not the big stuff. But when I have larger sheets or cutoffs, I'm probably just going to stack it against the wall for now. But I was going to throw this cabinet out, but it's actually the perfect height for an Outfeed table. So I think I'm going to use 1/4 inch ply. I know I should be using something heavier, but a 1/4 inch will give me the height that I need. The 1/2 inch was just a little too high, or I could cut it down. But I think I'm going to make that, even though my bench is my assembly table is the same height as a table saw, so I can use that as an in-feed or out-feed table. What I just did, I upgraded my J-Bates in-feed arms. So I'm usually always working by myself, and those arms you can spread them out wherever you want, put a full sheet on them, and it makes it really easy to cut a full sheet of plywood with these. So they're just out of scraps. That one's a full 2x4. That one's the tops are a 2x4 ripped in half, and then there's just hinges in there, and then they basically just sandwich onto the tube, so I can just lift. I have it on pretty tight so it doesn't move, but and then you can fold them up. Fold them up and just hang them up, get them out of the way. And if you want to put them on again, just take it out. On there, we're good to go. It's one of the coolest things that I've seen Jay make, and it's probably the simplest, but for me it really helps a lot. So I had them previously, and I used really thin piece of wood I had lying around, and they weren't very sturdy. So I upgraded these, even though they don't match. They work well. Still have the Powermatic dust collector with the second stage trash can, and then a 4-inch run all the way through there. In the back, I added a second hole because I'm kind of anal with dust. Now it gets all the fine dust, and not much dust comes out through here, but some of the bigger stuff stays down there. So I put an extra hole, and then I ran a 2-inch, I think it's 2-inch or 2.5 flex that goes underneath there. That is connected right in that Y right there. So the blast gate for that one is on the saw versus like the table saw. It's at the actual first connection before the second stage regulator. Bandsaw, I put the dust right quick change on there so that I can have dust collection on the bandsaw. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with the oscillating rigid sander. I just have a piece of hose on there to see what kind of suction I can get when I hooked it up temporarily. But I have some old blast gates that I may use. Planer, nothing's changed with the clamp rack, although I'm almost full, so I'm going to have to figure something else out for that. And that's about where we're at. The doors I made, mahogany. Actually, I got to make the pulls for these. They're mahogany with plywood, and they're just simple. Made them all on the table saw. Used some hinges I had to try out. And then I changed the wheels on my rollout cart that used to have my planer on it. So with the smaller, I think they're like 2-inch wheels on there now. It just rolls right under there, so I can take this out. That's the drawer I made. There's no drawer slides or anything. It's just a friction fit. Nothing crazy. Just rabbited it in. And that was my first inset door I made. So I got another. I like everything I can on wheels, so if I need to move stuff around, sorry, I push this back in. That just goes right in there. Fits in there nice. Down here is air compressor. I don't usually use it while it's in there. I usually take it out because I'm usually working far away from where it's at, but as you can see, it comes in and out pretty easily. And these drawers, I don't think I put anything in them yet, but they're pretty big. Yeah. Miscellaneous stuff in there. These are really deep. I'm probably going to make some organizers in here. Some more hand tools. Up top, I got a lot of the screws and Craig stuff that I use all the time. Keep all that stuff together. And some finishing stuff. And then I have a lot of my drill accessories in here. My Milwaukee hole saw. I have a couple of my blades in here for the jigsaw, because I don't have too much jigsaw stuff, so I don't want a whole drawer for it. And then just different attachments, step bits, countersink bits, extra Phillips head screwdriver bits, nothing too crazy. I'd added these two pieces up here, a plywood scrap that I had just to kind of keep the dust in there more. And I put an ankle piece of plywood right there, just to direct the dust a little bit more. I'm going to store my shorts up top. I'm not going to, right now, this plan called for bins like Jay has up top, but that's going to block my, the only place I can store my firehouse stuff. So I don't want to do that. I still got to put another piece of plywood up top there, so I'll be able to store some more stuff up top there. And my first try at a mallet, nothing too crazy. Just a piece of mahogany and some oak, and just sandwiched in there. Nothing crazy. I didn't drill this out and put any sand or ball bearings or anything in it because it's really heavy as it is. So I just left that as it is. Started playing with some ideas of keeping the stuff that I use the most. My squares, my levels, tape measure, and my drills. The stuff that I use on almost every project I have really accessible. I'm debating on what I want to do with this cabinet, because if I do put drawers in there, the second and third one are probably going to hit this, but I use that the most, so I'm not sure. And I do need some more clamp storage, so I don't know if I can move it over there and then maybe put the drill press somewhere else. Who knows? But anyway, just wanted to give an update. That's what the shop is looking like now. The Stuff Straight hose works pretty good. I got the second to longest version, I think 20 feet or so. It'll go to the table saw, but that's about it. I should have got the longer one, but that's where we're at. Take it easy.